Hello, you're watching Avenue X, where Junkie and Good Storytelling shares her thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. 风起陇西, The Wind Blows from 陇西 is a 24-episode drama that's being aired on the web platform iQIYI, as well as China's CCTV 8. This is a Three Kingdoms period time setting drama directed by Lu Yang. It is led by Chen Kun and Bai Yu, also featuring many other very well-known actors such as Dong Zijian, Wang Xiao, Guo Jinfei, Nie Yuan, Sun Yi, Angelababy. It is based on a story written by the very famous author Ma Boyong, whose previous works have been adapted to very big television productions such as Luoyang, that happened at the end of last year. Also a couple of years earlier, The Longest Day in Chang'an. And I've told my audiences many times that this is the most looked forward period drama of 2022 for me. So now this drama has aired, and I've watched the first 16 episodes of it, which is already 2/3 of the whole thing. To put it bluntly and simply, I'm very disappointed. But actually for reasons that's super different from most of the other dramas that I've ranted about on my channel. I give it a 0.5 gold mine. Then I'm not gonna point out a lot of still pretty good things about this production one by one, because really, I think the more important thing for me now is to talk about the things that made me rate it so low. Still though, before I go into talk about the details, very quick introduction about what the story is about, but not spoiling it, because it's a spy drama. If you spoil a spy drama, really, there's nothing left. So this is a Three Kingdoms period time setting drama from smaller characters' perspective, talking about that big era of three different kingdoms fighting for the power to control China, but none of them kind of succeeded at the end. You come across two main male characters played by Bai Yu and Chen Kun, and they are related through marriage. One married the other's cousin type of thing. And they're both spies, and this is mostly between the kingdom of Wei, which is founded by Cao Cao, and the other kingdom is the well-known Shuhan, Zhuge Liang, and supposedly inheriting the right of ruling the country from the Han dynasty's imperial family. Now, let me first mention the good things and why I say it's not a crap drama. It's not a bad drama. The people involved in creating this show, they take it very seriously. They're not making something that is clearly a money laundering or trying to harvest fandom's money type of productions that's rampant today in Chinese drama. So the motivation of creating such a show obviously is to make money, but also you can tell they have ambitions. They want to tell good stories. They want to make their production a flagship of something that stand out from the crowd. Input wise, this is not a crap drama. Again, I emphasize that. I'm gonna rant about this drama, yes, but not ending up in the same garbage bin as those garbage dramas. In order of their importance, starting with the least problematic to the most, in my opinion, biggest mistake that this production has made. Number one, background music. When this drama aired on the day, I actually treated it like a ceremony. I had a really good mic set up because I was like, if this is a good drama, I'm gonna record my initial reaction. So I literally recorded my live reaction to episode 1 and 2, and I gave up at the end of 2 because I thought there's no point of recording this anymore. This is not going to be a drama that's going to fly, and CCTV's rating kind of proved me that. And when I listened back to my live first reaction to episode 1, I realized 50% of that is ranting about bad BGM that's written that doesn't fit the particular scene. Also, there's too much BGM. There are so many scenes that definitely doesn't need any BGM, and it's better that there's no BGM at all. They just insist there has to be a soundtrack at the background. I do not understand why that is necessary. If you ask me now, can you recall just hum one tune that you've heard throughout this drama? I'm like, sorry, I can't do that. Dramas I've watched 20 years ago that I haven't watched since, I can hum it. Like, that's one of the things I can do. But this drama, by episode 16, there's not even one track that sticks to my mind. Says a lot about the whole BGM doesn't work. Second, it's a very dark drama. This doesn't offend me or doesn't cause problems for me personally. I mean, I can watch Game of Thrones, the 8th season, the episode 2, where there's literally no light throughout the whole episode, and still be able to watch it. So this is not a test to me at all. But I'm saying this from a general drama audience's perspective, is it is still a little bit too dark. They didn't really take into consideration, or they do but they don't care, which is a lot of people these days don't consume it on a big screen. And it doesn't help that it's at that ratio. It's not even 16:9, it's like 2.35:1, the standard film ratio, that you have two black band on your screen, squishing further of how much light comes into your view. The third thing, I think more important than the two previous points, only working on people who are Chinese literate. So if you don't understand Chinese, you totally depend on subtitle, it's not a problem for you. Which is, in Chinese, the language itself, the lines written is so weird. It mixes languages that sounds very formal and ancient with languages that's literally 21st century. And it constantly does that, pretty much throughout the entirety of this drama. There's so many vocabularies that's literally laughable that they used in this drama, such as 丞相感到了巨大的压力. 丞相, which is 诸葛亮, his position, which is like prime minister of the country, feels this big pressure. That's what that sentence is. But apart from 丞相, which is an ancient time position that no longer exists today, so you can say that word is in the olden days, but the rest of the sentence felt this big pressure. 感到巨大的压力. It is so 21st century. And there's a lot of meeting scenes in this drama where they sit down. They literally would call it like 案情分析会, something like that, which is just so 21st century police station stuff. I really, at certain point while watching this drama, thought they're gonna start to talk about KPI, key performance indicator or whatever. It really feels like that's gonna jump out of their mouth next second. And I think this is pushing the envelope a little bit too much. I don't consider it to be a kind of innovation, because everything else of your style is so ancient. They're so trying to keep to the ancient look of things that the lines spoken so 21st century jumps out is just like a joke to me. Let me inject a little bit good things here, because after that, I'm gonna rant more about the things I cannot accept of this drama. Can you imagine? I'm okay with the overall performance of all the leads. I would call Bai Yu's performance met my exact expectation, not even 1 ounce more, 1 ounce less. The type of I know, next second he's gonna turn left, turn right, blink his eyes how many times, and he would do that, exactly like that. I guess I just watched too much Bai Yu stuff that I'm so used to his performance now that I can literally manifest his acting, I guess, in front of my own eyes. So it's okay, but I wish there could be more surprising things. Unfortunately, up to this point, no. Chen Kun, there are a couple of things he almost just totally destroyed it for me, but just on the brink of falling off the cliff, but not so. And then there are a couple of things he did well, so I'm okay with his performance. I'm not super impressed. And I know online a lot of people are blaming him for the drama to fail at rating. I don't think that's fair. It's really not his problem, okay? Because later I'm gonna tell you why I think this drama failed at rating. More important things. I really like Dong Zijian, but I think in this drama his acting is a little bit over. Is acting it to the point that it looks like an indie art house movie about ancient same-sex lovers. Come on. If you've watched those couple of scenes, you cannot tell me that you don't feel that, okay? Really, he needs to go on big screen and do a gay couple film, and he will be great, and he'll get awards for that. Wang Xiao, I really liked his performance, but unfortunately, he isn't in the drama for that long. And then Nie Yuan is pretty good. I think up to this point, for the main roles, he's one of my fave in terms of performance and character and everything. So I've finished talking about that positive injection into a lot of negative things I see in this drama. Let's keep going. Now we get to the second stage of problematic things for me that I think is more problematic than the previous 3 points I've said. To my memory, the first time I'm gonna get so technical and ranting about certain technical aspects of this drama that I don't get why they do it. Number one is there's a fascination or there's a fixated idea about a type of camera language. They try to be as still as possible. Unless they're following a person walking on the street, it needs to be a shot that's literally somebody used a Steadicam following. Apart from that, you hardly see any camera movement. It's a lot of on tripod still shot of two people talking or whatever. They do pan the camera sometimes because if somebody is talking, you have a medium close-up and they move. You have to move the camera with that person a little bit, otherwise they're gonna be at weird places in the framing. Apart from that kind of movement, the camera just decided I'm gonna stay still as possible. Very soon, it started to annoy me because there are a lot of two people are talking, and as they talk, things start to get more intense. There are a lot of tried and tested ways of filming these things that will help the audience to get into that mood. Usually, when something intense is about to happen, when more important information is getting delivered, you start to get a tighter framing, and then sometimes the camera pushes in right, with the tracking or whatever, to show the audiences that now you need to listen intently because there's important information, and also the acting from the actor is important for you to watch. I'm not saying you cannot test other ways of doing it, but the current way of telling a story visually and then using these tricks with cameras has been tested for decades globally in all kinds of productions and proven that it works. Also, audiences have watched so much content that we're very used to certain ways of expression. We know when you do this with the camera, it just tells us this is important. And I think for a commercial project like this, a proper drama that's made to make money, let's be honest, it's not an author film that somebody invested their own saving, make it, and doesn't care about what other people think about. It's not an indie movie, it's not art house productions, it's not the type of you submit to international film awards. It's a drama. You get subscriptions, people pay to watch it. So there are just ways of doing it that we've already known that will work. And you can just stick with it and make the story flow so much better, but they don't. They just refuse to move the camera. And I don't know what they're trying to achieve there. I don't think a 24 episodes drama made by a platform that asks audiences subscription money is something that you should just make your artistic statement of things. If you're making a 1 hour and a half indie movie, do whatever you want. Actor literally walks out of frame and walks back in. That's totally fine. You see that in a lot of very author film. But this is not what I'm looking for in this type of drama, and it really impacts the story flow. And the second thing is the choices focal length of the camera that you use to cover one scene, particularly interior dialogue where two people are sitting down, talk scenes. Oh my god. So that's to do with focal length, framing, plus editing together. So point 2 and 3 should be talked together. The editing cuts at weird places that shouldn't be cut, or they should reconsider how they edit and choosing different coverage shots of one scene. And then the shots themselves is so annoying. In this drama, you'll see a lot of conversation interior scenes where you see a very wide angle lens that's put very low on the floor level almost, and then tilted up looking at one actor, almost filming their entire body because they're kneeled. There's also the more normal medium close-up to close-up coverage that's at a different focal length and not so wide-angled. So what result in this is when the editing is happening, they cut between the very wide angle and then the tighter focal length and just keep jumping back and forth between that. The wide angle really changes people's looks on camera. At the edge of the frame, it's already distorting the frame very much. You can see the edge of the buildings and architecture getting bent with that low and tilted up angle and also the focal length. But then it cuts to a different focal length where it's more ideal for portrait. For example, like this focal length you're looking at me, which is 85, right? I'm on 85 right now. So this is more like a human eye looking at a face, whereas the wider focal length would be like your iPhone's. It will squish the edge of the frame and take more information in. Usually when you film such a scene, you have an establishing shot that's on a wider angle because you want to see where the people are, the room, you know, where they're sitting, the position, establish an environment. Once this talk starts, unless it's absolutely necessary because something moves, changes, you know, a different person enters or whatever, you jump back to the wider shot. Usually you go tighter and you stay there with the more ideal for filming portrait focal length. This drama keeps jumping between wide, tight, and there's no reason for them to do it because it doesn't introduce any extra information by doing that. They literally just do it, I don't know, because they covered it in that angle and they don't have other angles to work with. Because editing, you can only edit stuff that you're given. You cannot create more shots out of that. The weird focal length jump and the editing pacing of when you shouldn't cut away from somebody and you cut away to another person and you cut back and you cut away, you keep cutting when you don't need to cut, working together, creating really bad flow of dialogues, interior shots, particularly in the first 5-6 episodes. I cannot go through a specific scene with you here because copyright wouldn't allow me to do that. I like YouTube. But I'll just put the episode number and the scene here, you know, with the time code. You can go and watch that and sit down, just watch that one scene and feel what I mean by they just cut at the wrong place. It made me notice it so much that I couldn't get into the story. I get annoyed by how they do the edit. And I can't remember when's the last time this happens because for a lot of crap drama that I rant about, they don't make this kind of mistakes. You know, you want the edit to be flowing to the point that you don't realize they're making a cut. But this drama, oh my god, it just keeps reminding you. There's an editor sitting behind the editing desk and they're cutting cuts. That's the editor me getting really pissed. Now, I've talked about in 2 stages of the problematic things of this drama. Let's get to the final point, the most important point. I think the most detrimental problem of this drama. They made the wrong strategy of telling a spy story from the first second. You are a spy drama, espionage drama. What is the best thing about espionage drama? It's the cliffhangers. It's I'm almost at the brink of being discovered, but then I managed to pull this off. Whether it's contemporary, whether it's Bourne's Identity, CIA stories, whether it's Chinese stories, whether it's 2000 years ago, period time setting, does not matter. The nature of a spy story and why people watch it is they want excitement. They use the wrong strategy of starting the drama. And because of other nature of the drama, such as dark, such as not really giving you very recognizable famous faces at the beginning of the drama, it probably lost a significant amount of audiences who never knew what this drama is. They just turn on the television, see it, and oh, this is boring. And they turn away. That's why probably the rating was really bad on day 1 and it just never managed to climb up that much afterwards. Because spy drama, it loses the first 2 episodes, you don't even know what you're looking at. You can't watch it anymore. But that's just on television, okay? So, this is a spy drama. And they started this with the first 10 minutes, not even letting you know this is actually a spy drama. You're looking at Zhuge Liang and the famous battle that he lost that caused everything else that happened in this drama, which is a real thing, did happen in history. And the whole 挥泪斩马谡, punishment of the general Ma Su, which is very well known in Chinese history, it started the drama with that. You don't need that. Although that is the start of this whole spy story, it has visually nothing to do with a spy story. And Li Guangjie playing the Zhuge Liang. First is he's not the best actor to play Zhuge Liang. He's not immediately recognizable as the classic Zhuge Liang that every Chinese people kind of know in their brain because of how famous this person is. And the beginning of the drama, because of the depiction of the battle, is not interesting, it's not engaging. There isn't anybody who's memorable, not interesting any plot happening there. If they haven't heard any promotional material about Fengqi Longxi, they're not active online, they don't even know what this drama is about. They thought, oh, this is a historical about 3 kingdoms and no famous people. Looking dark and not interesting. They go away. If you really want the people to immediately understand you are a spy drama and you're exciting, okay, which I don't agree, first 8 episodes are not exciting, then how you should start the story, in my opinion, since you have 2 male leads, is scene 1 would be the interrogation of Bai Yu's character Xun Xu by Nie Bian's character Feng Ying. It should be already that scene where his hand upside down and there's a big bucket of water underneath him. That should be scene 1. You don't even need to explain it because you see an interrogation and asking, did you tell this and that? Oh, immediately this is a spy story, okay? And it's intense. People are literally put in danger. And then Chen Kun's scene follows where he's in Weiguo, and I would rewrite that scene where he's more engaged in the actual process of other people trying to find a spy, set this trap up basically for him, but he knows, so he outsmarted them. The version you now see in this drama is he already knew that, so he was in a different place. I probably rewrite that he would be more involved in the actual process, not getting caught, but barely getting caught and managed to get away. And you have male lead 1, male lead 2, both are spies. One is getting interrogated, one just managed to escape from an attempt to lure him out. Immediately after that, we establish this is a spy drama and it's very intense. And also with the information that you see in this drama, you know whose side they're on, kind of, okay? Not gonna spoil it here. And these are the 2 main leads. That's how I would start this drama. And later you can just, in conversation, introduce. This is because the Jieting battle loss of the Shuhan happened. And therefore, they realize there's a spy that's working in between and it's involving these 2 main leads. You don't even need to show the battle at all. My very humble opinion of telling an effective story that will grab audiences in from episode 1. But then that's not the only problem with the story. Pretty much everything else that follows is very problematic. This drama, although it's a spy story, it doesn't have the excitement of a spy story. A lot of characters get introduced, but a lot of scenes are not energetic. They flow way too slowly, not helped with the darkness and also with the very still shots. The camera is so lazy, it doesn't even want to move, and the audience is like, yeah. For real, when I watched episode 6, which updated on day 2, day 1, 1 to 4 episode on iQIYI, day 2, 5 and 6. When I watched episode 6, I fell asleep on my desk. 20 minutes, I was sound asleep until I drooled on the desk. I got woke up by the very loud ending song, shouting in my ears, and I was like, oh wow, I slept 20 minutes. I totally didn't know what happened in the last 20 minutes, so I had to go back and watch it. Next day, day 3, 7 and 8, I fell asleep again. Middle point, episode 7. Slept for another 20 minutes and got woke up by the ending song. I swear on my life, the only time twice falling asleep 2 days consecutively on same drama ever since I started this channel from 2017. Every drama, even the crappiest one I've watched, I never had this problem. I don't know, like, does that say anything about how boring this drama is? And then episode 8 was on the same day and I watched it, didn't fall asleep because finally Chen Kun managed to kill 2 people. And from that point onwards to now, so the second third of the drama actually got better because more things are going on. People are moving around, people are doing actions, people are start to get interesting. But if audiences have to sit through 7 sleepy episodes to get to that point and you're only a 24 episodes drama, you still didn't do a good job. You should have revised your script and you should make it exciting from episode 1. Think about like Under the Skin, 20 episodes in proportion. Imagine if by episode 8 you still are not feeling anything. You would have quitted that drama. And that drama by episode 8 already had the epic moment of jumping into a swimming pool. I'm watching 重生之门 Be Reborn at the same time as this drama airs because they aired on the same day and they both are daily update dramas. Every day I wake up, the drama I look forward to is 重生之门 Be Reborn because I want to know what happens. Every episode has something that is like hooking you and you want to see what goes on, and there's no wasted time. It really gets to the business. Whereas when I finish watching 重生之门, now I have to click open 龙溪. I have to actually get myself psychologically prepared. The other day I was talking to that friend. I will give you a metaphor for my experience of watching this drama. I've said that on Discord too, which is it feels like I want to have a kid, therefore I have to sleep with my husband, but I don't want to have sex. And her reply is, well, my feeling is you really like a guy that you come across, but you know he's impotent. So we basically have the totally reverse way of looking at it, but actually meaning the same thing. How this drama presented itself to us and how we feel about it. And at the end of this, you know, if you really like this drama, sorry that you actually watched to this point. Why? I really am very sad about it because I had so much hope for it. I don't know, maybe because I liked Lu Yang's film Brotherhood of Blades. I also had that little bit hope because it has Bai Yu and Chen Kun. Chen Kun, honestly, in recent years, he hasn't been a very diligent and good actor. Filter I have with him and Bai Yu. It also taught me a lesson about not just hope for anything, for any dramas, no matter what, you know, like it has the best actor, it has the best scriptwriter, whatever, okay, lower everything to neutral and below so that my life will always be good and happy, and every good thing that happens would just be a extra surprise and I'll lose nothing. 5 years after I started this channel, I just kept lowering my standards. Well, talking about that, everywhere in this world, people are lowering their standards. For example, what is happening in America now about certain laws getting passed, and I look at it and like, is this 21st century? I feel like I'm 200 years back living in Qing dynasty and I should reconsider. Get bond feet. Anyway, irrelevant. These things are not relevant to Longxi. I'm just like too pissed to the point that I start to random things. Thank you for watching Avenue X. Take care. Live long, happy and lucky drama watching.